Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to talk about the new developments regarding former President Donald J. Trump. What those developments mean for him, what they mean for any possible investigation, and just kind of give an overview of the situation, the conventional wisdom, and some things that I think might be being left out. There will be more about this later. This is an overview this morning. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you have missed the news, the Federal Bureau of Investigation executed a search warrant at the former president's home. Now, conventional wisdom says they are looking for documents. The general idea is that this is related to the allegation that the former president or staff removed boxes of documents from the White House that should not have been removed, and some of those documents were classified, secret. Okay, now, as this story develops, what we have heard is that the Trump team has been talking to the Department of Justice about this. There's been meetings and stuff like that, conversations. There's also reporting suggesting that documents were returned. But then there's the search. And according to reporting, the agents did leave with documents. They seized papers. Now, for the Department of Justice to get a warrant like this, to search a home for a normal person, okay? We like to pretend that there's not a multi-tier justice system in this country. There is. For a normal person, the type of warrant they got, a federal agent had to say, this is the crime that we think was committed, this is the evidence that we think we'll find there, and this is the location. And they have to get a judge to sign off on it. Generally speaking, the standard of evidence that is met in this phase of federal investigations, this is pretty close to the standard of evidence that in state investigations, people are getting arrested. So that is that doesn't bode well for the former president. Now, conventional wisdom says all of this is about the classified documents, and it very well may be. However, there is the reporting that says something was returned. What wasn't would be a pretty big question here, right? Because if documents were returned and some stuff was withheld, well, that kind of suggests that that stuff's super important. There's no indication that those documents are classified. Keep in mind there were a bunch of documents that were taken. Some were returned, according to reporting. These documents may not have secrets on them. They just may be otherwise damaging to the former president. Generally, people are looking at this as separate cases. The January 6th case, the fake electors case, and the documents case. There might be overlap between them that we're not aware of. So that's something just to kind of keep in mind. Is this bad for the former president? Yeah, this is really bad. This is really bad for the former president. This is really bad news. At this level, they have a lot of evidence to suggest that a crime has committed, and somehow the evidence to support it is in Trump's possession. That's generally not something a criminal defense attorney wants to hear. Now, in the when you think back to how specific those warrants have to be and what they're looking for, and the idea that that evidence is in this specific location, you have to wonder where that information came from. I haven't been shy about the fact that I think that there might be people in Trump's circle who are maybe very free when talking to certain government agencies. I'm even more convinced of that now. I definitely think there are probably people in Trump's circle who are playing for both teams. The other thing to keep in mind is that all of this is occurring while there is a grand jury convened in D.C. This is bad news for the former president. Does this mean that an indictment is imminent? No, it really doesn't. But just the idea that FBI agents showed up at the home of the former president and executed a search warrant kind of indicates that the Garland Justice Department has resolved any theoretical legal issues when it comes to prosecuting a former president. It seems as though the objections are kind of gone. Those who may want to protect the institution of the presidency, my guess is that they have lost at least a major battle. So that's what happened. Now, there's going to be a lot of speculation about it. Here's the thing. Until Trump tells us exactly what was taken, and believe me, somebody on his team's going to at some point, there's going to be this speculation, but it's idle. The only thing that could really tell us is if somebody was able to comb the records and find out exactly what the federal agents specified that they were looking for. When we get that, yeah, we'll have a lot more information. But right now, the general consensus is that it's over these classified documents. I haven't seen anything to actually say that. It's over documents, sure. But is it over classified documents, or is it over documents that just should have been in the National Archives? Maybe documents that other investigations were looking for. We don't know any of that yet. Again, there could be overlap between these cases. So that's a general overview if you missed it. This doesn't necessarily mean indictment is imminent, but it's definitely not a sign that these investigations are going to go away. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.